That's why I didn't trust it. Fuck. No, I was so keen for my MBN, mate, but I still voted Tone because it was worth,
Well, we had to stop the
giving that
boats.
away just to see the tears, man. The leftists.
We had to stop the boats, man. That was the bigger question. I mean, there was an invasion happening, and we were getting invaded, and the boats had to be stopped. So, luckily, they've
Yeah,
stopped.
well, have you played BF4? It's a shit game, but
No.
there is one good map. It's called Paracel Storm. They introduced new units, fucking patrol boats, man. So whenever I play it, I cruise around the patrol boat, and I pretend that I'm on a special mission from Tone, and that not one boat, any boat, can fucking reach the mainland. And these aren't your regular asylum seekers, mate. These cunts are they're armed to the teeth. They got fucking missiles and rockets and fucking TV-guided missiles and cannons, and they will do anything they can.
Most of them aren't asylum seekers anyway. Most of them aren't. But so, what do you reckon about this CIA so-called torture methods?
I don't know why it's come up again in the news, to be honest. It's like, but it was news, like, it's like fucking, they've got nothing to report, so shit that they did, like, a few years back, like, when actually sort of was half following politics and, international affairs, because that was a big thing back then, and now it's like, they're bringing it back, as in the news, and as for my opinion.
Yeah, they're bringing it back.
Torture defense.
But I know what you mean, man.
I'm not sure if it's useful. Well, it probably is useful. No one can stand up to torture, man. No one. Like, it's not possible. So in the end, it gets your results. So fucking go for it. It's interesting though. Fucking big fan of torture. Christopher Hitchens. He underwent waterboarding because apparently there was debate at the time about it's not really torture. The video's on there. You can look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll have to go look it up, man. Oh, yeah, because I mean...
And he said, yeah, it's fucking torture. He had to bail out after 11 seconds, man. It was,
I reckon...
It's basically like you're drowning, man.
I reckon they're lucky...
They're
lucky that we're not doing other things to them, like, breaking them at the wheel or something, or just putting them... like we used to do to pirates. If we catch a terrorist, we just put him in a cage down at the docks, and put him high enough that no one can give him food or water, and he sits there, and we just wait for the crows to eat. The ibis will pick him apart, man. Like that's
why the ibis. Yeah, well, that's why one of the best things that fucking Obama actually did was, well, besides prosecute the war in an autistic McNamara sort of way, he fucking he didn't shut down Guantanamo Bay, which is a good thing because that's like one of the few places in the USA that's sort of outside the law, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. Just beat the shit out of them.
Well, that's the thing. Like it was happening back in 2003, 2004, and lots of people knew about the whole black sites and the black flights and the CIA taking people to fucking Eastern Europe and those sort of places.
Yeah, they can do what the fuck they want. Yeah, it's probably like fucking. I reckon MI6 and shit would be even worse. Like, those cunts would just do whatever the fuck they want, always. Like, what are the British intelligence agencies? Is MI6, is MO5. I think that's the domestic one, that's ASIO.
I clicked the wrong thing. I just saw
you wanking me.
Domestic one.
I can take a screenshot.
Yeah, I know MI5's for domestic, that's like for the UK, and MI6 is for...
MI5, yeah, that's it. Our version, ASIO used to be called MO9. That was like fucking basically MI5. I think it was ASIO that was having MO9 yet back in the day.
Oh, ASIO, they do good work, man.
Yeah, like I always, I actually wanted to fucking, as a kid, join ASIS. Fuck yeah, that would have been interesting. You know, I eventually did other shit, but it'd still be
I
good.
reckon,
Like, and they're one of the few departments that there's very few government departments that I trust completely. It's ACES, other one's probably ASIO, also AFP, and I guess the RBA. I don't trust Treasury. Treasury's fucking cunts. Productivity Commission, I trust. They're fucking good.
well, what about, since we're talking about government departments we trust, what about the tax office?
Actually, yeah, they're another one. ATO, I would, because they're just accountant or just nerds that just, they get the law and they fucking enforce it.
Well,
So
technically,
that doesn't mean it's good to. That doesn't mean it's not a good thing to try and avoid tax where you can. They expect that, but they just do their job. They're one of the few departments that are not, political. I guess Treasury is too political. Fucking
oh, yeah,
RBA, not really.
the tax office,
Yeah, ATO is just accountant nerds.
they're actually like pretty fucking reasonable people. Like you're better off being honest and upfront with them. There's no reason.
Oh yeah. It's like
yeah.
they do if you get and this is even in big cases fucking if you get audited, like if you skimp on your tax and make some bullshit deductions and whatever, and they hit you up for an audit and they're like, oh, you've done this. Most of the time, even if it's like millions of dollars worth, as long as you just say, yeah, sorry, I'll pay it back, blah, 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 they'll leave you alone. They only really prosecute you when they want to make a point. They want to make an example out of you. And or if you say no and you be a cunt, then they'll fucking get you. But yeah, because it's interesting because what they do is I don't know who makes the policy, but they focus on like different areas that are relevant at the time. So a few years back they were focusing on I guess mining kind of shit. And, other times they might be focusing on some other fucking area.
Like
And then so they'll try and find cunts that are doing that fucking around to make an example of them. But other than that, yeah, if I'm pretty sure for the average fucking player, like fucking small business or whatever, yeah, if you try and con them and you happen to get hit by an audit, as long as you just
I heard from my tax agent that the ATO's got a bit of a focus in especially this year and last year, and they'll probably continue to focus on it. They're putting a lot of on people who claim a lot of communication expenses. So people who claim like basically all their private calls are their business calls, and people who have like the tax office is trying to dodge down on like people who set up all these business plans for themselves and extended families and then claim them as business plans, like, and then write off the costs of them and shit, because there is some pretty, like, if you fork out like $500 a month, you can get like 3 or 4 SIM cards that have just got unlimited calls on them, and basically unlimited fucking internet, and you can just your whole family go for a bit. If the tax office catches you, or the supplier catches you, then yeah, you're gonna be in trouble. Like, they'll take it away. But there's people that do it. Like, so there's another, and like same with the internet. Like, but the problem is that like, how can you actually catch some? Like, how can you prove it, sort of thing? Like, someone could say, oh yeah, like, all of my telecommunications are business related. Like, I don't have any personal use of telecommunications. Well, like, that.
I guess. Yeah.
Like, that's just an absolute bullshit statement.
It's not like they don't have the resources or the time to actually, pull the fucking chat logs from Telstra and shit and then use it against you, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's under serious murder sort of shit, or like massive drug dealing, that kind of stuff.
Well, we got that metadata collection, man. Who knows? Maybe they'll put it to use one day like that.
They got that. Hang on, that what collection? I didn't hear that.
The metadata, like, collecting the metadata.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's already fucking Oh, you mean what do you mean where the AFP or whatever's been?
No, yeah, like how they.
Oh, you mean a prison? Are you talking about prison?
No, you know how they're making all the internet service providers store metadata, like store like.
Oh, are they? Yeah, I didn't really. I sort of heard a bit about it, but I didn't really fucking
Oh, yeah, there's all
I
that.
didn't really fucking look into it because I just didn't give a fuck. But are they actually like? Is Telstra doing that now?
Sure they're doing it. I'm pretty sure it's happening and it's already happened. I mean, I think it's unfair because it's like a tax that's gonna, it's being put on like internet service providers to provide this, like, like to do this for the government, and it's like it's one of those things. It's basically,
Yeah, it would be a bit annoying. But the thing is, in the end, the main fucking reason they would be doing that is terrorism. Like that's the same thing
oh
with
yeah,
prison.
yeah,
Like, yeah. So
oh
in the
yeah,
end, it's probably I highly doubt that they're ever gonna get to the point where you know you go download a torrent, man, and it's like, oh no.
well, actually, the internet piracy is an interesting thing because that's all in the news here as well at the moment. There's the whole um, that's another thing with it's a really interesting subject because it embraces like the whole crony capitalism thing with Foxtel and their poor business model,
Yeah.
which like
Murdoch, man. It's the trouble.
yeah, they want to have their monopoly on Game of Thrones and shit, and once again it's another tax that's going on internet service providers. It's cost that they have to incur because of someone else's shitty business model, and so like it's
Yeah, it
that's
depends on how strictly they are gonna be
well
made
now
to
they're
enforce
saying,
it. Like, because like with banks, man, fucking banks are technically supposed to if you make a transfer to someone that's I think it's anything over 10 grand, they're obligated to report it. But more importantly, if you make if you're if you're depositing if you do anything sus basically and the bank teller fucking notices it or someone notices it on the system, like fucking maybe you're you know selling drugs and you're fucking depositing cash like at the same time every week or something like that, they're actually legally obligated to inform the
yeah,
police. But they don't because they don't. It's another cost, man. So they're just like, yeah, we'll do it. And
yeah, of course,
actually,
yeah. Yeah, like, and that's one thing. That's what I mean. Going back to what we were saying before, like I was reading about with the internet piracy. They're going to try to block, just block torrent sites and shit. But the stupid thing about that is like, you know, how can they block people will just fucking put mirrors up. They'll just use
yeah, but
like it's impossible.
do you mean like the Australian government would block, or you're talking about like international?
The government will make internet service providers block certain pages, like So
I guess they probably.
yeah,
But then what would happen is fucking just for Australians, because as we know, Australians are pretty big pirates. Fucking shit'll it'll pop up with fucking extra proxies and fucking extra
yeah.
different versions of it, and even sorry, not proxies, but different versions of it just for Australians, and then it'll be like, oh, cunts will just start using proxies and shit to get into it.
You can just go on ErcChat. You can just go on ErcChat and get torrents and get you can swap files over there. Like, it's dodgy as to do it that way, but you can do it through ErcChat. Like, so what do they can't ban ERC servers and stuff like that.
I guess fucking you could just get an American mate to send you the torrent files. Like,
yeah, that's like.
But it would be inconvenient. That's the key thing. Like with Aussies are lazy when it comes to like little shit like this. So it's like, we're hard workers, but when it comes to, that's why we have the most advanced. We actually have the most advanced fucking consumer banking system and payment system on the planet. It's so quick and convenient. Like the RBA is actually looking at, well, basically, if you send money to me in a business day, it'll get there most of the time next business day. Otherwise, it'll get there sometimes occasionally the same day, depending on the bank. If we're at the same bank, it'll be instant. Like you don't get that anywhere else, man. And yet the RBA wants to do well, the main reason that happens is because
well, I don't know if they do
every day the banks do it's called batch processing, where for major fucking like millions and millions of dollars worth of exchanges between banks, it's instant. It's called RITs.
They trade the return, isn't it? They trade the
minimizes risk.
banking reserve.
What's
Isn't
that?
that when one big bank has to transfer capital to another big bank, don't they use
Hmm.
they use their banking reserve, like they use their central banking reserves?
They
When
use RITs. It's RITs. Well, RITs is the name of the system. But the thing is, anytime you actually transfer money to someone else, you pay someone else. It's banks can't just because as you may know, 90% of the fucking money in the system it's just deposits, man. It's not actually real Australian dollars. It's just um, ones and zeros in the banks because banks fucking lend out more than they have or whatever. Yeah, and it's backed by money's created by loans basically. So you go to the bank, you get a car loan for 30 grand to buy that fully sick fucking done up Commodore, and what literally happens is the bank just credits your account with 30 grand out of nowhere. There's no need to back it with anything. It on the bank's books you have the bank creates a liability and an asset. The asset is the 30 grand loan. The liability is the 30 grand deposit on your account. And so fucking that happens, and it's only later that every week the banks check their positions, because when you actually decide to say withdraw that in cash or transfer it to someone else, the bank actually has to send 30,000 real dollars to the other cunt's bank, and that's done with actual Australian dollars, like air reserves, fucking at the banker's bank, Reserve Bank. So it's like, man, where was I going with this? I fucking got sidetracked. Consumer fucking, what was it saying? Yeah, the most convenient consumer banking system, blah blah blah.
How money's transferred.
Yeah. So for big shit, man. For like, just say some business pays another business $20 million for some contract. That is done instantly. It's not done. See, if you send $30,000 to me, the bank queues that up along with your bank does, along with all the other little transactions of the day, and then they process it all 8 a.m. the next day. So that's why it takes a day to send from different banks. But for massive amounts, it's instant, man. Like it uses RITs. So basically, what my point was is that my point was fucking the most advanced consumer banking system in the world. So even that is fucking pretty insane by even Western standards, like next day transfer. But what the RBA is looking to bring in the next couple of years is multiple batches done every day. So it's basically same day transfer. Then what they want to do is have every ton on RITs, man. So imagine this, fucking you need to send me fucking $20. You just log in your bank account and fucking transfer it instantly. I got it. That's serious shit, man. But yeah, that's because Australians are the world's biggest winners when it comes to. Anyway, that's my point. Anyway, keep going. It related to something else too. I can't remember what I was saying, but no, the banking system's fucking interesting, man. It's very interesting. The Reserve Bank is the best Reserve Bank on the planet. Like they know their shit, man. So yeah. Anyway, we got off track.
Oh no, it's still interesting, like just the way we bank and the way banking works, like, and it's sort of like it does annoy me.
We invented BPay, by the way. That's an Australian invention.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it does. It does.
Fucking BPay ban.
Like a lot of it's sort of, I mean, I personally blame Zeitgeist and how people watch Zeitgeist and then they think they sort of get how the banking system works, and all of a sudden they think all money is debt, and it's like, oh my god, the whole system's fucked. Like,
most of it, it's only about 90%. 90% of it is fucking, as I said, you go to the bank, you get out a loan for 30 grand to buy that Commodore, and they create 30 grand's worth of deposits. But once you pay that back, then that money's deleted. So on net, technically on net, that can't create new money. But in the end, it does. Like overall, because that's why there's a reason why basically every single recession, man, happens with like a financial kind of crisis, man. Especially the big ones, especially the Great Depression,
Yeah.
the GFC, fucking all the fucking mini depressions before that. It's because there's not enough fucking the Reserve Bank, like in any country, it doesn't create enough actual cash, real money, to satisfy everyone's demands for buying and shit. So that's the reason why you need to get a loan if you want. Just say you want to buy a club sport right now or a new house, you'd have to get a loan. And the reason isn't because
Well, I guess one of the things is like
you got to go to the future, man, and borrow it from the future. Like that club sport's already in the showroom, man. The reason why you can't access it, why you can't buy it, is you don't have fucking 160 euros, man.
One of the things that's sort of interesting is that, like, it's almost like we can't. The situation that's needed for us to have a bank run is sort of different because like people can access their money 24/7 on the internet.
You can't have bank runs anymore, man. You can't because the government the Reserve Bank will guarantee all. Even though you remember how Rudd in GFC he brought out that law saying, "Oh, we're going to guarantee all deposits." Like that was stupid because the RBA would never ever let like a single cunt lose a single dollar, in a bank run. They just create more money and fucking add it to their accounts, man. Like but back in the day you didn't have that. That's why the Great Depression was actually just it's just a harsh sort of recession, and it turned into a fucking full-on depression because bank runs, man. The Reserve Banks wouldn't step in to create more money, so it's like, or cut the interest rates to keep it going.
Well, there's also
it was like,
they just didn't step in and create the money like they could have. There's a lot of that with the actual depression and stuff, but it's certainly interesting banking. And I mean, there's a lot of people. Original point was there's a lot of people that I mean, I don't profess to have some deep understanding of it. I mean, I get some of the basics, but other than that, it's all quite
it's a bit sort of complex. Like that's why most cunts don't understand, because you actually have to. Well, firstly, you actually have to. Well, there's a lot of we have to fucking go and actually read about how it works. But the thing is, there's a lot of fucking ideology, man. Economics is very political by its very nature. What's economics about? It's a question of what in the end, what should or should not the government do, basically. So that's going to be political, like straight up. So the thing is, most cunts, even most economists, that's the thing. When it comes to money, economics is a field of researchers in the Stone Ages, because they're still in this old gold standard mentality where money is actual gold, where fucking the central bank fucking can just increase the money supply by just increasing the amount of money, and then everyone's going to automatically borrow. It's like, no. In reality, it depends on demand, basically. The amount of money in the economy is demand. Like, if cunts want more money to get it, they'll get more loans, and that's it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is like, that's the problem with the gold standard, and that's the reason why I don't necessarily like a gold standard. Like,
it was fucked, man. It started wars. It was beggar thy neighbour fucking shit. Like, what would have to say? Us in New Zealand were fucking trading, and we started running the trade surplus. With New Zealand, we're trading more with them than they're trading with us.
Yeah.
Which all countries do. You got trade surpluses, deficits. It all nets out. Yeah. Minus trading with aliens. Everyone's one country's deficit has to be another country's surplus. So we're trading with NZ, right? And we're running the mad trade surplus with them. So back in the day, what they would have done is that because you demanded actual real money at the time as payment for your goods, you were paid in gold.
Yeah.
So what would happen was suddenly NZ's gold stocks are fucking decreasing.
Gold supply, yeah.
And ours are increasing, which means because, you know, your money was backed by a certain amount of gold, the money supply in fucking New Zealand is suddenly, you know, going down. So cunts don't have enough money to do anything. Interest rates, of course, go up. You know, they start having a recession. Meanwhile, the opposite happens here, and we start having this massive boom, which could probably cause inflation as well. So, you know, in that instance, what happened, and this is like most of European history, man, it's like, what happens? You fucking start a war. You know, you go fight some cunts and steal some more gold. Like an arbitrary fucking little bit of metal in the fucking ground. Just to keep the economy on. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like that's the thing is that it's fiat currency. I mean, there's the seigniorage you actually get off at like that's one thing I think. I think the government should be able to pay all of its costs simply through the seigniorage it makes off its currency. But you know, like the thing is like it's a transfer of wealth. You know, like believing that real money is only gold is saying that a transfer of wealth can only happen in a physical thing. It's a metaphysical thing. Like wealth in itself and the transfer of it is something just created in our minds, and it's something that we believe in. It doesn't matter if we use gold as it or fucking
that's the thing, and that's why fucking most of history you've had you have cunts who want easy money and cunts who want what's the other term? It's not hard money. It's fucking. I'll just say hard money. But basically gold and shit. Like basically, you know, basically all. And the thing is, all the cunts who already have all, you know, the money, like the rich cunts, we could say the Jews, they support fucking hard money because it's in their interest to, keep that money and have it sort of increase or at least not decrease that much massively in value. Whereas for everyone else, especially can't start a new business where it's all about credit, you just need money, you need to borrow as soon as possible. They want easy money. Yeah. And that's why the whole, like, it's funny, the whole March West in USA, man, the whole development in USA was this, it was a bit of a struggle between the hard money cunts and the easy money cunts. The easy money cunts were the innovators. They're the small businessmen, the farmers, the cunts that, you know, they got an idea and they want to fucking go for it, but they need the fucking credit. So they wanted easy credit, and that's what happened was, it was pretty interesting. Like, the easy money basically always won out. So what you'd have is banks would just pop up out of nowhere with a little bit of gold, and they just, you know, lend out way more than they had, and you know, farmers and business owners, whatever, would fucking start a business and start a farm and you know, build a road and just keep marching west and keep developing and innovating. And then, you know, one day fucking a couple more cunts than normally would fucking want to withdraw some cash, and the bank would go fucking bankrupt. They'd be running the bank, and then it'd rinse and repeat, man. Start over, and that's basically the whole story of, you know, development of USA, man. It was a good thing back then. It's probably like that kind of fucking very, very easy sort of credit would be a bit of a problem now. We're already developed, but it's like at one point fucking in different states in the USA, tobacco, you pay taxes on tobacco, man. Like, because money can be, I guess, whatever you want. It's just that actual physical cash and, you know, reserves, fucking electronic money. It's just very convenient. It's very easy. It's the white man's money, man. Fucking the Jew that wants the fucking wants the gold standard, man, because he's got all the gold. So.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is it's that transfer of wealth, and it's just it doesn't matter what it is. Why you know, you might as well make it something where you can reap maximum seigniorage from its creation. So, you know, gold's not easy to make. You know, you've got to find it, you've got to dig it up, you've got to make it. Like whereas,
and then you've got arbitrary countries like, you know, countries that have lots of gold, like even Australia, or, you know, some niggas in Africa or whatever, just happen to have, you know, lots of gold deposits. So it's like, oh yeah, you're rich for nothing. You've done nothing. All you've done is you happen to have some fucking arbitrary metal in the ground there, and you can dig it up, and that makes you rich. It's fucking shit. That's why fucking Spain were niggas, man. like fucking always. They thought they were, you know, they thought in the end it was, as long as we get all gold, mate, we fucking go overseas and we, you know,
Well, that's one thing I
knock
was.
the foreigners to get the gold. Meanwhile, fucking UK is innovating and starting businesses and building fucking a million ships and whatever. And it's like, yeah, you're fucked. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, like that's and when Spain like got all the silver from the New World, I mean they caused inflation in their currency and made their silver currency basically worthless. So just because you have precious metal doesn't mean like it can't happen. Like yeah, I mean there is some natural supply, that natural limits on its supply, but that doesn't mean that you can't still get the same situation of mass inflation. But yeah.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. In Australia, back in the day when we had fixed exchange rates, which is basically the same thing as the gold standard, because we fixed our exchange rate to the pound like at a certain amount, and the government would change that ratio every now and again. And the British fixed the pound to the price of gold. Sometimes they didn't. Whatever. It all depended. When shit went down, importantly, countries just to get rid of the gold standard, especially during wars, because it's fucking retarded. Anyway, what would happen was every time we had a mining boom, man, suddenly, we'd have a massive fucking export boom of fucking, minerals and fucking metals,
Yeah.
gold, silver, whatever. And suddenly we'd have all this fucking money in the economy, all this gold, and to the point where there was so much around that the economy didn't have the capacity to supply all the demand, because suddenly every country's a million. So of course that's demand outstrips supply. Fucking prices go up, and that's inflation. So every time we would fucking have a mining boom, we'd have mad inflation. And these days we don't have that because we have flexible exchange rates. Where we had a mining boom recently, and so what happens is fucking under the old days, fucking suddenly every country would be super cashed up, and they'd be just buying all the shit, and you get inflation. Whereas now what happens is it auto adjusts, so the exchange rate goes up because demand for our currency is really high by foreigners to buy our fucking mining shit. And when the exchange rate goes up, that means it's exports become more expensive on foreign markets. So that decreases our export income because can't go elsewhere because it's too expensive. But also, especially, it makes imports really cheap. And the thing is, whenever you buy something from a foreign country, whenever you import something, that's a decrease in domestic demand because that's money that's not being spent in Australia, it's being spent elsewhere. So that serves to automatically basically adjust the whole thing. So your exchange rate is basically it's like a price for your whole economy basically. So it auto adjusts to help you out. And the opposite is say with USA recently, USA had like a trade deficit for a while, and then they had the GFC move. So for various reasons, the US dollar tanked a fair bit actually. But what that did was that assisted them out of recession because suddenly US exports are just dirt cheap to everyone all over the world. And exports, cunts giving you money to buy your shit, that's extra demand. So, it auto adjusts to help you out, which of course is why Europe is fucked, because Europe went on a single currency. So now, you got niggers in fucking, you got the poor countries in fucking, Greece, where if Greece was still in the drachma, man, the drachma would be fucking, it'd be worth jack shit. So you'd just have, Greece would be having massive export income, from their cheap shit. They'd be having massive tourism. Because every cunt would be fucking going to Greece for a holiday, man, for like $100. It'd be cheap as shit. So that would help them out, but no. Europeans, I call this Euro stupid, man. Like it's something so fucking retarded that only Europeans would ever fucking try to do it. That only Europeans could be stupid enough to believe the bullshit and do it, man. USA usually makes up most of the bullshit, but they never follow it, man, because they're very smart. USA would never, ever fucking, actually try to seriously make a fucking budget surplus like a serious goal, or they'd never do, you know, something retarded like, well, I guess they do have one currency, but they'd never join a currency union. So it's amusing. I call it, yeah, it's a term I've defined. I call it Euro stupid. Although the other Anglos are, they're partial to it in ways too, like shit like privatization, man. So, for example, of some areas. So, for example, the Royal Mail, Royal Post, was recently fucking privatized, right? That's something that America would never do. Under Bush, he had a big report actually done into USPS, United States Postal Service. They're you know, Australia Post, and it concluded with yeah, very strongly, like completely. It's like it's running fine. It makes a profit. It fucking funds itself. Don't ever fucking privatize because that would be fucking retarded. It's a national asset. It helps the economy, etc., etc. So USA would never ever do anything stupid like that. They'd never do anything like even privatize the energy sector, man. And I don't know if that's, maybe that would work out correctly, maybe it would, but they would never even risk it, man, because they're not. Americans, the American government is, it can be retarded, it's deceptive, but it's not really. It's actually, in the end, they're very practical and they're very fucking smart. They'd never do anything as stupid as, yeah, even now, recently, fucking, you're hearing, you know, the odd rumblings. It'll probably never fucking happen, but, you know, the cunts here in the LNP wanting to privatise Australia Post. It's like, you know, you fucking retarded. I can send a fucking package. I can send a letter. No, I can send a 3-kilo package for $15 express, and it will get there guaranteed next day for $15, man. Even USA doesn't have, you know, that kind of capability. And Australia Post is, it's a government-owned corporation. It's run at a profit, and it's franchised out as well. So fucking the average Australia Post shop is fucking, it's owned by some cunt, you know, runs it for a profit. So, yeah, I just got off track. Anyway. Hello.
Alright, sorry about that. Had to go off and look after nature.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Yeah, so when did you leave? How long ago? I had to go take a piss.
Oh, it's only like 5 minutes, man. I had to just go take shit.
Is this shit recorded or? So I just gave the lowdown on fucking
That's
privatisation
all right.
straight across.
Yeah, it is a live show. That's alright.
But how do you know who's watching it? Like, where's the fucking...
It says people are watching. It says there was like 5 people watching.
Whereabouts?
The bottom right.
Okay.
Does it not tell you? It says 2 at the moment.
I've just got a little chat thing at the bottom. I don't actually, it doesn't say it.
No, it doesn't matter, man. Hardly anyone watches these things anyway. It's so underground.
I did it on auspol, but
yeah, I put it on auspol. No, some people watch them during the week and stuff, man. But it's pretty underground, man. It's pretty underground. And, you know, it's right in with the hipsters.
You need those likes, man. You need to get in with the dongers, man, and get them likes. It's all about those likes, man.
Dongers.
I tried to get Tyson on just briefly to fucking rock up for 30 seconds and just shout dongers until you vanish. I don't think he's on there. We should play 2-Fort earlier, man. I just want to play 2-Fort, man. That cunt just fucking, as soon as I got out of that fucking the little bit where you spawn, man, just this nerd just sniping me. So I went the other way. Then it's like, yeah, you took what 100 health, like half my health as a soldier, with like one shot of some fucking gun I've never seen. I haven't played it for a while.
Oh, that's that. Yeah, the force of nature with the scout. It has like.
Oh, the force of nature's fucking old, man. That's been around for ages. What?
Yeah.
What's the difference between that and the regular one again?
It's got 20% extra like bullets in it, and it's only got 2 shells in the gun per shot, so it's got like minus 66% clip size.
That's right.
Yeah.
How many shells in the regular one?
Oh, it's got like 6 in the regular one, but it knocks people back as well. So it's like it's pretty cool gun, but it's hard as fuck to use, man. And it's got a really quick firing speed, so you can just go boom boom with it.
Yeah. So you probably hit me twice, like straight up.
Yeah, mine. Yeah.
That's why I took all my health. Yeah. Usually I'd play soldier. Generally, soldier or occasionally scout, but I was never really that good at scout. Even though it's patrol, but I mostly like blowing up scouts instead. I do heavy a bit as well, and yeah.
Yeah, I usually play a couple of times a week. I like that
little.
Yeah,
I haven't played for a while.
I like that little achievement idol map, the little arena map. That's just quick and. If you're an engineer, man, you get a teleporter up into their respawn, and then you set up your sentry. You just cut through them for ages, man, and it's pretty fun. That's all I pretty much do is I just go into that map. I mean, all the other maps are okay, but that one's really quick. And
you can't beat 2-Fort though, man. 2-Fort's still.
Yeah, 2-Fort's pretty cool. I've played it a whole bunch though, so I've played it a bit.
It's like Dust 2, man. It's just a classic.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I might cut this off now and get going. But man, I do this every Sunday, so do it again with us next Sunday. And the more people that come in here, the better. Because it's a bit too unlively when I'm just here by myself. It's a bit of a
True. You need to get those likes, man. I'll hit up the dongers.
Yeah, I'll get dongers in. If no one's going to turn up, I'll get dongers in on it. That'd be pretty good.
Just 312 years will just rock up out of nowhere now.
Dongers, make it a real party. All right, man. Too easy. I might talk to you next week.
See ya.
Take care, everyone. See ya.